Coming up on this week's travel show. Oh, no. Okay, 3 o'clock.
I'm in Hong Kong to find out how their famous pink dolphins are being affected by the fast pace of development here. We meet one of Asia's top chefs to get a new take on traditional Cantonese cuisine. We're in northern Canada to discover how to use an iceberg to make a cup of tea.
I actually know him.
And going underground in London, we meet the people who help to keep the trains running all night. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the handover of Hong Kong to China. Since 1997, the pace of development here has been rapid as Beijing pushes ahead with its transitional one country, two systems formula. A plan that will eventually see Hong Kong merge economically and politically with the communist mainland in 2047. But environmentalists fear that one of Hong Kong's most iconic creatures may not survive that long.
The pink Hong Kong dolphin was actually a symbol of the handover of Hong Kong from British back to Chinese rule 20 years ago. But now, their future is under threat.
The dolphin's vivid pink colour isn't caused by pigmentation. It happens as blood vessels expand and contract as a result of thermoregulation, a system the dolphins use to control their body temperature.
The dolphins are always meaning good luck in Chinese culture. And also, they go beyond the Hong Kong border to Chinese water. So it's sort of a unity between Hong Kong and China back in the handover days. So that's sort of a symbol of unification between Hong Kong and China, and also a good luck and energetic, symbol. Unfortunately, their numbers are on the decline, so it's not much a good luck now.
Figures from Hong Kong's Fisheries and Conservation Department show that the number of pink dolphins here have crashed from 188 in 2003 to only 65 in 2015. And although nobody is exactly sure how accurate that figure is, there's no doubt that numbers are falling.
Well, I've been coming to Hong Kong for around 20 years now, and I'm ashamed to say I had no idea there were dolphins in the waters here. But of course, you won't find them in Victoria Harbour, where all the tourists are.
To be in with a chance of seeing the dolphins, you have to leave Hong Kong Island and head west towards the airport. Land reclamation, population growth and pollution are all being blamed for destroying the dolphins' habitat. Huge new infrastructure projects like this new bridge and tunnel to Macau might be good for the economy, but environmentalists claim that they are playing havoc with the dolphins' natural environment. The Hong Kong government has announced it will create a new 2,500 hectare marine conservation park in northern Lantau waters to help counter the effects of building another runway at the airport. But conservationists say that the marine park is in the wrong place and won't help the situation.
So when we go out to the sea, we use a long lens to take high quality photos, as you see as this one, because there's the information we use to identify the dolphin, just like the fingerprints in our hands. Like this one, there's a round tip and a big notch. So from this one, we can know exactly this individual has been seen when and where. We need at least 2,000 dolphins to sustain the long-term survival. But in the current situation, no matter how many times we run the simulations, the population is doomed to extinction. So that's actually a very worrying scenario.
What needs to be done?
What we are proposing is protect what is important to the animals first now, where it's not just about quantity, about how many kilometers square of habitat is being protected, but also where it is protected. And those core areas should be the highly prioritized areas to be protected in terms of stopping the development, lowering the fishing effort, so basically reducing the pressure on the animals, so give them a place to survive.
Well, determined to try and see some pink dolphins, I headed to Lantau with an advocacy and ecotourism group called Dolphin Watch, who've been working to promote marine conservation here for 2 decades.
Many of the dead ones found every year are juveniles or babies. So I'm going to show a dead dolphin. If you're very sensitive, then you may wish to not look. It just looks like it's sleeping. So what could have happened to this dolphin? Okay, there's no crisscross scarring. It didn't drown in a net.
What are we going to see today? Are we guaranteed to see dolphins?
No. It's 97% success rate, and if we don't see any, then people will get to go again free, assuming they do have the time here. But that's a pretty rare occasion, because after 20 years of doing this, we do have a pretty good idea where the dolphins will be, given the wind and the rain and the time and tides. But they are wild animals, so we can't make promises. You'll see lots of garbage, lots of concrete, lots of boats, and hopefully lots of dolphins, but you know, I have to lower expectations because some days it just doesn't happen.
So I really hope we see a dolphin. The conditions are in our favour, it's not too windy, and where we are now in the waters, it's near the mouth of the river, so the sea isn't too salty, so this is their usual habitat, this is what the dolphins like.
For a while there's nothing, then as we head into the western waters of Lantau Island, we suddenly get lucky.
Oh gosh, and there's one over there. Oh, I missed it. Oh, you've got to be quick. It's a pink one. Is he going to come up again? Yep. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. 3 o'clock. 3. Okay, oh, over there, one.
People love concrete here. Where is the tipping point where you say the dolphins are no longer, you know, sustainable, if you like? And even if they are, the gene pool has got to be shrinking with fewer and fewer dolphins. So, you know, by the time you list something as endangered, it's quite often too late.
As a cosmopolitan city, which is quite wealthy, we have all the resources to make a balance between development and conservation of the environment. We can do both, but you know, we have to strike a balance. We can have all the development that we want, but at the same time, we also need to build up the capacity for the dolphin to withstand all the threats. You know, we use the dolphin as the mascot, as a symbol of the handover, so it's our responsibility to make sure that, you know, they will be here for a long time, not just for us, but for our next generation and for the future generations to come.
Time now for the last in our series of films looking at the people who keep London moving long after most people have gone to bed. And this time, we meet Latoya, who works overnight at one of the capital's busiest tube stations.
My name is Latoya Raymond and I'm a customer service assistant here at the London Underground. And I work for the infamous Oxford Circus station. Since the launch of the 24-hour night tube last year, we've actually run 24 hours on Fridays and Saturdays. My role begins the minute you walk through the station. And if you need assistance along the way, anywhere, I'm here. That's what we're here for. fine. If you want to touch your Oyster card.
Hang on there.
Yeah, that's it.
There you go, my love.
So I'll resolve that for you.
Yeah.
And that's done. Yeah, the money's back on there.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. At night, this is where Oxford Circus comes alive. Central London comes alive during the night. Everyone's coming out, everyone's, going out, having a great time, especially on Fridays. You finish work, you don't want to just rush home, so they do take advantage of the nightlife, they do take advantage of the pubs. The fact that we do have 24-hour services, it's been amazing. People enjoy it, and the atmosphere is always, amazing. It's great. I am a people person. I've always been a people person. So you are the actual Monopoly man, like, So it's fun. It's absolutely fun.
So we've done all the 26 pubs.
On the Monopoly board?
Yes.
They come down these stairs singing. We join in. I'm thinking, how are you still standing? Take care. Along with persons that are going out, having fun, going to clubs, we do have persons that work at these clubs. I actually know him. I'm sorry, I have to go run and hug him. Now, they can just come through and go home. And if you can imagine, working throughout the night and then having to wait another 2 hours or so for the trains to start running, it's not nice. We go out as well, we're not all about work. We're a great bunch, we all get on. This is a family. Where did you go? Yeah, there's no more trains for the Bakerloo. At night, at the moment, we only have 5 lines that are running. So the problem with that is most persons, they're not quite aware of what lines are running and how to get home. So again, this is where knowing the job, knowing the stations, knowing how to help persons. We have all the resources we need to make sure that we can get everyone home. Now that the last Bakerloo line has left, it's time for us to shut the gates so no one else can enter. They can always use the northbound or southbound Victoria line or the Central lines if they need to get home. But for tonight, there's no more Bakerloo line trains.
Well, stay with us because still to come on this week's show. Coming out next, we eat out here in Hong Kong with one of Asia's top chefs.
Chrysanthemum is not traditional for this dish, but it really adds a really nice floralness. And we actually got this inspiration from having a snake soup in Hong Kong.
And head to the far north of Canada to meet the local people who survive some of the harshest winters on Earth.
The Travel Show, your essential guide wherever you're heading.
Up next, here's another in our series of films to mark Canada's 150th birthday this year. And this week, we're off to the far north of the country to meet some of the people who live in the town of Kikitagjuok, inside the Arctic Circle.
Inu tuinna luta pigunnak sisimani upigibatta inu tuinna luta hamalakun inu tuinna ulat tilakituti atamana kikatayong me toyong atamana kikatoyame nonangal kadanak to nakakalalolo mangos biulo sila tanay to kalitulo ni
Tiaboda mi imiliman pekaruya
ilang ilita bakalu yamin tuingan latak tiak. Bakalu yakai na limay tiak tu. Manit wala rum makay na putui. Lani ko may wadap una ko na les makay na makayu na kakasati bakalu yan no. Saput yaw si mayatu rin. Ngilok to alin lima ko kapian ang nasyaw may mata. Saka kala siya to kalaw katak tuwara maukiyong garokot. Asilaw kuning anu iksaw yung tayo ma isi magasiwa. Isi magakatak-taka. Wat yaw ulit tayo masukayak tigil warok si mangin mata pakaluyay. Maan nalak siya ulit sukayak palang mataawiyak ko. Sa kulod nung maunga parok sa mga to. Iluta ka lang ito yung makatiluta man na. Anak tidak hanya tak kalau yamin kalau ya mamaktuk makwa imi ilangit maninyo na may ngako kung musakat kasi yung utak ko so sa makayak siya tama kwalip kalau yamin ito ay may niyo siyang ito yung cute matang cute ito ba.
Well, to finish off this week, we're heading back to Hong Kong, a melting pot of Cantonese and Western cultures, and an amazing place to visit if you love food. Mei Chao was voted Asia's best female chef earlier this year, and she's building a reputation as the driving force behind a new generation of chefs who are specializing in what's being called Neo-Cantonese cuisine. We were lucky enough to go behind the scenes at her Happy Paradise restaurant here in Hong Kong to watch her cook one of her most popular dishes.
Today we're gonna cook for you a 3 yellow wine chicken. So basically it's originally a Hakka dish, but at Happy Paradise we do Neo-Cantonese food. So we're gonna do it with more Cantonese techniques, having it a bit more refined. What we have here is a local breed 3 yellow chicken. We've already slow cooked it. For the breast, we've cooked it at 58 degrees. For the thigh, we've cooked it at 83 degrees. And for the feet, it's just a little garnish because Chinese people did nose to tail first. We're gonna do a rice on top with seasonal mushrooms, a little bit of chrysanthemum butter just to lighten it a little bit to make it more floral. And then it's gonna be finished with a Shaoxing broth. So we're gonna put the chicken in. It's already fully cooked, so what we're really doing is reheating it. We're gonna start the broth. This broth is a shiitake braise. So you can really smell a lot of shiitake mushrooms in there. It also has Shaoxing wine. And of course, Shaoxing wine is like, you know, the most commonly used cooking wine for Chinese people. But when you cook it with something like yellow wine chicken, we're quite aggressive with adding the Shaoxing wine. Just gonna stir fry the mushrooms. In Cantonese terms, it's actually called chicken mushrooms. So that's why we're adding it as well. So we're just trying to get a little bit of color on. And then we're gonna add, this is really nice, this is the chrysanthemum butter. So that's gonna add a really nice floralness to the fried rice. So we're kind of layering the flavors into the chicken. little bit more of that Shaoxing wine. For this, we're gonna put aside for garnish. We're just gonna chop the chicken. The chicken should be ready. So we're gonna take the chicken out. Now we're just gonna ladle the rice on top. Now we're gonna garnish with a bit of chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum is not traditional for this dish, but it really adds a really nice floralness. And we actually got this inspiration from having a snake soup in Hong Kong. The chrysanthemum also represents like chicken feathers. And then table side, we garnish with the soup. So this is our version of yellow wine chicken, refined Cantonese food with super comfort levels.
Well, that's all we've got time for in this edition of the program. Coming up next week.
As Pakistan prepares to mark 70 years of independence, Benzan heads to Karachi to get a taste of life in the city.
There's just so much more to Karachi than we know. It has depth in terms of the people who live here, the cultures that exist, the lifestyles, the architecture. There's just so much to see.
Well, I hope you can join us for that if you can. And don't forget, if you want to follow the rest of the Travel Show team on their journeys in real time, you can sign up to us on our social media feeds. All the details should be on your screen now. But until next time, from me, Carmen Roberts, and the rest of the Travel Show team here in Hong Kong, it's goodbye.